What if I told you that the traditional blueprint for a woman's life has officially dissolved? For centuries, society handed young women a non-negotiable script. Go to school, secure a job, find a partner, get married, and settle down before turning 30. For generations, being single past a certain age wasn't viewed as a valid personal choice. It was treated as a social tragedy, a personal flaw, or a silent cry for help. But right now, as we navigate through 2026 and look toward 2027, a massive, quiet revolution is sweeping across the globe. Millions of educated, ambitious, and emotionally grounded young women are making a radical decision. They are walking away from modern dating, rejecting traditional marriage, and choosing to stay single. And no, this isn't out of bitterness, heartbreak, or a lack of romantic options. It is a deliberate, calculated, and deeply empowering lifestyle choice. So, what is driving this unprecedented global phenomenon? Why are young women in 2026 choosing the peace of singlehood over the chaos of modern relationships? Today, we are breaking down the socioeconomic shifts, dating app burnout, psychological realities, and cultural movements that are rewriting the human story forever. To understand why so many young women are stepping out of the romantic market today, we must first look at the most significant structural shift of the 21st century: complete female financial independence. Throughout human history, marriage was rarely about romantic love. It was primarily an economic survival contract. Women were legally and socially restricted from owning property, managing bank accounts, or earning independent livelihoods. A husband was an economic necessity, a provider required for shelter, safety, and social standing. Today, that centuries-old power dynamic has been completely demolished. In 2026, young women are graduating from higher education institutions at significantly higher rates than men, entering high-growth industries, launching successful entrepreneurial ventures, and building their own wealth portfolios. When a woman can buy her own apartment, pay her own bills, invest in her own future, and fund her own lifestyle, a romantic partner shifts from being a basic necessity to an absolute luxury option. When survival is no longer on the line, the emotional and practical bar for what a partner must bring into a woman's life rises dramatically. Modern women are asking a fundamental question: does this relationship add genuine value to my life, or does it only add stress, unpaid domestic work, and financial burden? If the answer isn't a resounding net positive, walking away is no longer a risk. It is a logical decision. Beyond financial freedom, another massive driver behind this shift is what psychologists and sociologists call emotional labor burnout. For generations, women in heterosexual relationships have carried an invisible, asymmetrical burden. Society conditioned women to be the primary emotional caretakers, conflict mediators, domestic organizers, and social coordinators of the household. Even over the past few decades, as women entered the full-time workforce in record numbers, the division of labor at home failed to keep pace. Study after study consistently reveals that even when both partners work equal corporate hours, women still perform the vast majority of unpaid domestic labor and mental household management. In 2026, young women are looking back at the exhausted, burnt-out lives of their mothers and grandmothers. Women who worked 40 hours a week at a job only to come home to a second shift of unappreciated domestic work. And they are collectively saying, "No more." Young women today realize that living alone or staying single dramatically reduces their daily stress levels, eliminates unequal domestic expectations, and allows them to direct their emotional energy into their own mental health, career growth, and personal peace. We must also confront the catastrophic collapse of modern digital dating culture. Over the last decade, dating applications promised to make human connection easier, more accessible, and more efficient. Instead, they created a toxic, hyper-commodified environment that has burnt out millions of users. By 2026, dating app fatigue among young women has reached an all-time high. Algorithms designed to monetize human loneliness, endless superficial swiping, deceptive profiles, ghosting, breadcrumbing, and low-effort communication have turned the search for love into a draining, soul-crushing chore. Modern dating culture has created a pervasive illusion of infinite choice, causing many individuals to view human beings as disposable commodities rather than complex people deserving of empathy and respect. After spending years navigating deceptive behavior, emotional games, and low-effort dates, young women are simply opting out. They are deleting the apps, turning off their notifications, and realizing that their own peaceful solitude is infinitely better than enduring a mediocre, stressful, or disrespectful date. Furthermore, we cannot examine this trend without highlighting the powerful global social movements that are redefining gender relations in 2026 and 2027. Consider South Korea's influential 4B movement, a radical feminist pledge where women choose to refrain from dating men, marrying men, having sexual relationships with men, and having children. What started as a localized response to deep-seated patriarchal structures, gender-based violence, and unfair social expectations in East Asia has blossomed into a global conversation. Millions of women worldwide, from North America to Europe and beyond, are drawing inspiration from these principles. They are realizing that withholding their romantic, emotional, and domestic labor is a valid, non-violent, and deeply impactful form of self-preservation and social critique. Women are actively shifting their focus away from traditional romantic partnerships and reallocating that vital energy into lifelong female friendships, professional mentorships, personal hobbies, and community building. This cultural evolution has fundamentally altered the definition of a complete and successful life. In the past, singlehood was framed as a temporary, uncomfortable waiting room, a place you stayed until someone came along to rescue you and complete your life story. Today, young women are actively building rich, multidimensional, and deeply fulfilling lives entirely on their own terms. They are traveling the world solo, cultivating vibrant networks of genuine friendships, investing heavily in mental and physical wellness, pursuing creative arts, and adopting pets without waiting for a partner's approval or validation. Deep, supportive female friendships have increasingly replaced traditional romantic partners as the primary foundation for emotional intimacy, safety, and mutual aid. When a woman possesses a solid circle of trustworthy friends, a fulfilling career, economic stability, and a safe, peaceful home, she doesn't feel an empty void in her life. Singlehood no longer feels like missing out. It feels like total autonomy. It is crucial to clarify one major misconception. Choosing to stay single in 2026 does not mean young women have given up on the concept of genuine love or human connection. They are not anti-romance. They are anti-inequality, anti-disrespect, and anti-compromise. The standard for entering a relationship has evolved from, "I need someone to complete me," to "I am already complete, and you must prove that your presence won't destroy my peace." Modern women are no longer willing to shrink their ambitions, sacrifice their mental health, or endure toxic behavior simply to avoid the social stigma of being alone. If a potential partner cannot offer an authentic connection built on equal effort, emotional intelligence, mutual respect, and shared responsibility, young women are entirely content staying single indefinitely. Ultimately, the surging rise of single women in 2026 and 2027 is not a demographic crisis or a tragedy to be mourned. It is a triumphant testament to human freedom, self-respect, and economic progress. It proves that when women are granted equal access to education, financial independence, and personal autonomy, many will choose self-love, tranquility, and freedom over outdated social pressures. The narrative has officially flipped for good. Singlehood is no longer a waiting period for marriage. It is a final destination of empowerment, peace, and self-actualization. What are your thoughts on this global cultural shift? Do you believe modern dating culture is permanently broken? Or are women simply raising the bar for healthier, more equal relationships? I would love to read your perspective in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, deeply researched, and thought-provoking, please hit the like button, share it with someone who might appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel for more authentic deep dives into modern society, culture, and human history. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video.